What is up, guys? It is the Sports Nerd Bradley Walker, and welcome to the Walker Report, part of In the Zone Sports Radio, part of NGSC Sportscast. Please remember the website. It's ngscsports.com for all your current sports content. And we are also being shown on Coast to Coast Entertainment. You keep seeing me turn my head, guys. The USF game is on ESPN. I'm watching the USF game. Guys, we are sponsored by CreatingZenSpaces.com. It is the local choice in St. Petersburg, Florida for house cleaning, organization, decluttering, and pet sitting. It's about finding the peace within you, adding comfort to your life. And remember, Zen Spaces begins with you. Be kind to yourself and one another. And guys, she is just currently serving just the St. Pete area. She is unable at this time to service Tampa and Clearwater. But anyway, guys, welcome back. Last week, we are back after a week of being back, but we are here live. So let me go ahead and bring on both my co-hosts this evening. Gentlemen, how we doing?
We're here.
All right.
Present and accounted for.
Still
fighting with our computers because they're crap.
Right.
So I'm on my phone, so as soon as if I can get my computer to work, then I'll hop over there. So.
Alrighty then.
Before we get started, because the game hasn't quite started yet, I'm taking the Cardinals tonight.
He's going to pick Arizona to beat Green Bay.
Yeah, I think Arizona knocks off the Pack Attack.
No. I think it's going to be. I think the Packers might have a shot here.
With everybody the Packers have out, I think Arizona gets it done.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Adam on that with all the injuries Green Bay has on offense with Lazard.
Watt is, I think, done for the year.
Yeah, Watt's all done. But
And Devontae
Green Bay has 2 or 3 big injuries, and I think J.J. Watt's overrated anyway. I felt that he's been overrated for 10 years.
Another injury-prone season for him.
Yeah. It's not that he's a bad player by any stretch, but he's never lived up to the hype.
No.
You know, every year he comes in as a defensive. Another stop on third down. Every year he comes in as a preseason defensive player of the year, and he's often hurt.
I think he's been hurt the last 4 seasons in a row.
I think so. Yeah. He's missed time in at least the last 4 seasons, and I think he's missed time going back all the way to his rookie year. So, I mean, when he plays, he's unstoppable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, in case you're wondering what this is to help with the electrolytes, because yesterday I just got my second shot.
Excellent.
All right.
So now I'm
Get up.
vaccination man.
No shots tonight. I just have beer. No shots tonight. Just beer.
I'm vax-man.
But
Actually, I
no.
feel pretty good.
Good.
All I had was the same side effects last time. Grew that
Right.
third nipple again.
Right.
Eyes
heads.
bulging out. Schlong got disheveled. Oh, just awful. Oh.
Right.
Oh.
Cats and dogs living together. Anarchy.
That's nothing new. That's been going on since the prehistoric days. Come on.
Cats and dogs living together. There we go. Got it. I'm a hair in my mouth for some reason. See, this is the kind of content you get on these unprofessional broadcasts.
Ghostbusters. A Ghostbusters quote.
Yes.
Ghostbusters quote.
Little bit of a Ghostbusters reference. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, it was
Showing my
fun.
age here.
By the way,
how
guys,
old you are.
he's talking about the original Ghostbusters, not the remake.
Come on, I'm older than you are. Come on.
But I'd leave that
Not
out.
by much. Not by much. Come on.
Yeah, I'm
Not that old.
51, actually.
I would have said you. Yeah, I don't look a day over 29.
Yeah.
All right.
Before.
Guys, I have a ton of stuff that we could talk about. AEW, WCW, XFL, CFL, World Rugby, WNBA. I'll be willing, NASCAR, I'll be willing to start anywhere you guys want to start.
Well,
MLS.
That time of year, I thought maybe we start with, what else? The World Series.
We can
MLB.
start the World Series.
MLB.
2 good games so far.
Well, yes and no.
I mean, they've been blowouts. I mean, but I was watching the game last night. I was watching a little bit of the replay before we came on the air. And it's just a matter of, baseball is such a game of inches.
Yes.
There was in the second inning, there was a hard hit ball down the first base line that the Astros player made a great play on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and how much does that change the game? If they extend the inning right there, you keep, you get another, you turn the line, get the next hitter, move a guy over, how much, it's such a game. It's such a game of inches, and
it is.
It makes, even in a 6-1 blowout, which would be 40, like in a 42, assuming that in a 42-7 football game, the game's long over.
Yeah.
But in a more football. In a baseball game where or in a 6-1 hockey game, it's a blowout. And you were done by long before the game was long over before the even a bounce here or a bounce there really doesn't get you back into a hockey game.
No.
Or a basketball game or a football game when you're down by 6-1. I think the final 5-2, 6-2 last night, something like that.
Game 1, 7-2. Game 2.
So we're both games 7-2.
No, first game was 6-2.
6-2 and game 2 was 7-2.
Yeah.
And even
far from competitive.
But yet still only a bounce or two away from not being routes. I think that's what baseball needs to. That would make baseball a lot more watchable. Is if they emphasize the fact that there are no, that even a 5-run game isn't a rout. That you still, that on the turn of an inning, you can be down by 5 and then be up by 4. And that's one thing that baseball has going for it, unlike the other stick and ball sports. Whereas, like in hockey, you can only get one goal at a time. So if you're down by 6, going into the third period, it's a long way to go. If you're down by 4, down by 5, it's a very daunting challenge. If you're down by 5 scores in a basket, you're down by 20 points in the fourth quarter, it's all but over. And then in a football game, if you're down by 5 scores going into the fourth quarter, it's all over, man. Because you might only get 1 or 2 more possessions.
Right.
Well, I will say this: I don't like Rob Manfred a lot, but now that the series is shifting to Atlanta, he is not. He's going to allow the Braves name and the tomahawk chop to be allowed during the World Series. So be prepared for that to happen in Atlanta.
I find the PC culture to be very stifling. Yeah. I think that a lot of it, it comes from a place of. It can. Let me put it that way. It can come from a place of wanting to be respectful. But I also think that, if you're not being, I also think that there's, tradition, there's something to be said about tradition, and, you're not being disrespectful. I don't think that Native American imagery is disrespectful.
Not at all.
Just the use in general. I don't think like Blackhawks or Indians or Braves is in general a disrespectful. I can understand people saying that Redskins is disrespectful because it was a racial slur. I get that. That's fine. I understand that. I can understand why you wouldn't want something, named after you wouldn't want to root for a team that was named after some ethnic slur against you.
Right.
Still, I can understand that. But I think that sometimes that the cancel culture goes too far.
Certainly
and I think you make a mountain out of a molehill.
We can talk about the Blackhawks a little later in the show.
Yeah, we can do that.
Horrible.
That crap. There are some crazy trades if there is a season next year.
Trade ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first one is a change of scenery for 2 top prospects. Detroit would trade second baseman Jeter Downs to Boston for right-handed pitcher Matt Manning.
Uh-huh.
That
I
would
don't
be
recognize
great. That's again.
Either of those.
Those are minor leaguers. The next one would be the Yankees sell low on 2 former rising stars. The proposal would be to Miami. They would get shortstop Gleyber Torres and catcher Gary Sanchez. In return, the Yankees would get right-handed pitcher Kyle Nichols, right-handed pitcher Zach McCambley, and outfielder Monte Harrison. So that would be.
I think if you're the Yankees, you do that deal. All right, I think Gary Sanchez has more than worn out his welcome in
New York.
In New York, yeah.
He has.
I'd be. What about you, Lou? Would you do that deal?
I think I would. I mean, Sanchez isn't as great as he was, just a few years ago. He's really lost his step. So I think that would be a good trade. I hate to see him go, but I think that he has to go.
I would think it would be a popular trade in New York. I don't think there would be too much backlash. Hey,
No.
The laptop working. How about that? An hour later.
The next one, guys, would be the Reds would get shortstop Didi Gregorius from the Phillies, and in return, the Phillies would get third baseman Eugenio Suarez, $12 million split over a period of time. So that's the trade there. So Didi would go to Cincinnati. They would swap infielders there.
First the Yankees and Phillies, now this.
The next one is what they call a salary dump. And the proposal would be the San Diego Padres would get left-handed pitcher Josh Hader and center fielder Jackie Bradley Jr. In return, Milwaukee would get Will Myers, catcher Luis Capilano, infielder Eugenio Rosario, right-handed pitcher Efrain Contreras would go there. So that's just a salary dump to San Diego from Milwaukee. Then the last one would be Toronto getting third baseman Jose Ramirez from the Cleveland Guardians. I'm going to call them the Guardians because next year they will be that.
Right.
Guardians would get Cavion Biggio, Aralis Martinez, Adam Kostafasine, and right-handed pitcher Sejan Van Eyck in return. The Guardians would get that. So, again, those are just trade proposals.
Trade proposals.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, those are just articles that there could possibly happen next year, but that is what it is. There. Here we go, gentlemen. I'm gonna show this so you guys can see it.
Yeah.
Phil, what's up, man? I'll be seeing him at the Gator game end of next month, about a month from now. I'll be seeing him in Gainesville.
Okay.
So I have flipped it over to the Lightning Coyotes game. The Lightning are up 3-0 after the first period.
Uh-huh.
The Coyotes lead the league in goals given up. So
do that right. There was
do
something about.
You guys want to go into the NHL since we're talking about?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, we can jump to the NHL. We'll go with baseball.
All right. So I'm assuming you guys saw the whole thing with Kyle Beach and everything today.
Heard of it.
Yeah, I heard about it. I still don't know who he is. I don't recognize the name.
I don't know if he was his name is on the Stanley Cup. So obviously he played in the NHL. Yeah. I don't know with what kind of capacity he went through. And again, this is not because I know people are going to go sexual. They're going to go with, Nasser and what's his name? I had the name in my head and now I forgot what it was. The guy in Penn State. Why can't I think of his name now? Sandusky. Sandusky. It's not as disgusting as those two idiots or
fair enough.
Nasser. Well,
But again, I guess this whole time, I guess what I heard on the radio today is that there were players making fun of him on the ice after they found out it was him. So the victim became the one who got, made fun of. Harassed. So I don't get that whole bravado, but okay.
Yeah. I think it's really hard being a male victim of sexual assault.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Although it does happen.
Well, that's the whole thing with Sandusky. I mean, that was all boys too, right there. I mean,
yeah.
And again, and guys, we're not talking that a guy being assaulted is worse than a woman being assaulted and vice versa. So we're not trying to make one better than the other. We're not doing that. We don't do that on here. We don't get into
politics. But I don't think it's not right,
No, I don't think it's right either way. I don't care what sex the person
because,
is.
It's really, one of my friends came to me and said that they had been assaulted. And we'd be throwing hands. We'd be throwing hands because if you were making fun of my boys, for going through the worst time of their life, we'd be throwing hands. I don't give a damn. They would have to pull me off your ass because I would beat you right into the ice.
Yeah.
So would I.
And for none of his guys to stand up for him, and I know it was 10 years ago, and 10 years ago was a long time ago, and we thought about things differently, and it was the Sandusky thing really hadn't come to light yet, and and it was. I want to look that up real quick. I want to see. He wasn't convicted until 2012. I'm surprised this isn't getting reviewed already. And he's, and it's so hard as a male victim to, admit that you're a victim of a crime. It doesn't matter what kind of crime it was, And
well, I think, but what it comes down to is a male doesn't usually get sexually assaulted. When somebody comes out and says, "Hey, I got sexually assaulted by another guy," or even a woman, for that matter, they don't believe you. Like, oh no, why would you let that happen?
Right. Especially a big tough hockey player like that.
Right.
You're a big guy, you're a tough guy. And and you get in these positions where you're with people you trust and you respect, and you expect them to do the same for you, and then they violate you. And it becomes and then you go to the people you're supposed to be able to go to, and they tell you to don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And then you get mocked for it on the ice. I hope that we can transition here in the next 10, 15 years where this stuff doesn't happen. Where the bad guys get put in prison for
life.
Well,
their
where
crime.
do you guys what was I going to say? Who is to blame? Who's to cover this up more, the NHL or the Chicago Blackhawks?
Yes.
I think I would say the league.
The league?
I say it's both.
Both.
Okay.
I'm gonna put blame on both.
Here's the thing. Now, if both are involved, should already Stan Bowman already resigned, their general manager.
Yes.
Now, here's the question I have.
Bettman should be forced to resign.
Joe Quenneville is currently coaching in Florida. Should he be fired or should he be released from his job? Even though I know it's 10 years ago, Quenneville was the coach.
It depends on how far the conspiracy runs.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay? If he didn't do anything wrong, then he doesn't deserve to lose. If he didn't know anything about it.
Right.
But from what I understand, the league office knew about it.
Yeah.
If the league office knew about it, whoever in the league office that swept it under the rug needs to be fired and possibly arrested.
And he's not saying anything. He's not saying anything. So whenever I think someone's not saying anything, I think they got something to hide. They're not telling us everything. So got something to hide here.
Well, the thing about it is the NHL doesn't need that kind of heat. No league needs that kind of heat.
No, but still, I mean,
and when you have when you have people in positions of power and people that you have to be able to trust with your most intimate details, and those people are the ones that are abusing you, and if the problem becomes is that how do you sort out the liars? What happens when somebody else gets accused of doing something that they didn't do?
Mm-hmm.
They lose their job. They get in trouble for something they didn't do. And that's where the real problem lies. Is how do you sort out the liars? And the people that are just out for a cash grab.
Yeah. No, it's like I said. I mean, again, like you said, it depends on how far it goes back. But what I'm going to say is, if Quenneville knew about it, he needs to be gone. If he knew about it and did the same thing that the NHL did, then he needs to go too. And nothing against. I know Florida's off to like their best start in franchise history. They're undefeated. I know that. I've been paying attention. They're undefeated.
But it goes above the product on the ice.
Right. Being that,
how can you tell kids in high school or junior high, you need to trust these people. These people are doctors, they're professionals, and they know what they're doing, and they're going to do the right thing. And then somebody comes out, somebody does this kind of thing to an adult, a grown-ass man. He does this to an adult. How do you expect kids to feel about that? And go, there's no consequence. Do whatever the hell you feel like.
No, that's not the right way. That's not the way to do it.
Even though it's 10 years later, if you were, let's say we one of us graduated college, right? And 10 years later, it was found out that our dissertation to get our master's degree was forged, completely 100% plagiarized. They take away everything.
Mm-hmm.
How is this any different? Everything that the team accomplished with Quenneville, it should be null and void. I mean, and Quenneville or whoever, even though Bowman resigned, I can't applaud him for it because he got caught. He could have done the right thing 10 years ago and said, look, it was brought to my attention that there is an issue in the training room. We're not taking any further questions on it. It's being handled in-house. That person is no longer a member of the staff, and we're cooperating with law enforcement in every aspect. And it would have been done and over with and dusted, and it wouldn't have been a problem 10 years ago. But you let it fester, and you let it sit, and now 10 years later, it's not a problem that you can just make go away quietly. That you can say law enforcement's handling it, and it's being dealt with by the proper authorities. Now it's a skeleton in your damn closet. And this is what happens when you lie. And this is why you tell your kids, don't lie. Because the longer you lie, the harder it is to keep that lie up.
Yeah.
And all the Blackhawks skeletons just came screaming out of the closet.
Yep. Well, and on top of that, guys, if you think about it, that organization's not really on top of the NHL world like it was 10 years ago either.
Mm-hmm.
They've had a few seasons in a row where they have not, they haven't been the same team they are, and they're aging.
Mm-hmm.
They dumped Duncan Keith. He's in Edmonton now.
Seabrook's gone.
Yeah,
Kane and Taves are both old as hell.
Yeah. So,
At one point to start the season, they never led.
Yeah.
They were either tied or trailed.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I don't know if they have the longest to start a season in NHL history without a lead.
Yeah.
Do
you guys want to go through go ahead, bud. I'll let you finish.
I was just gonna say, and to think about the fact that none of us knew. I feel horrid for watching these guys on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, night in, night out, and cheering against, and to now know that he was going through the most difficult and destructive time in his life. And how do you recover? How do you go through that and not just want to blow your brains out?
Yeah.
Want to suck start the wrong end of a shotgun. I mean, people have killed themselves for far less. And, it's big ups to him for not just succumbing and just being another statistic. Just being another guy that's just gone because we didn't see it coming, and then this guy gets away with it.
Yep.
I mean, we can move on. I'll be quiet now.
It's all right. Okay, so here are the power rankings. Still early in the NHL. So, again, this is
Very
just
early.
ESPN's power rankings. They have the Panthers at 1, Hurricanes at 2, Edmonton at 3, the Blues at 4, the Capitals at 5, the Sharks at 6, Pittsburgh at 7, the Rangers at 8, the Lightning at 9, the Bruins at 10, the Wild at 11, the Flyers at 12, the Flames at 13.
Who at 11? Wild. Okay.
11, yep.
Wow.
14 is the Islanders. Dallas is 15.
Okay.
Jersey 16. The Avalanche is 17. Nashville is 18. Buffalo is 19. Winnipeg is 20. 21 is Vancouver. 22 is Detroit. 23 is Columbus. 24 is Toronto. 25 is Los Angeles. 26 is Ottawa. 27 is Vegas. 28 is Anaheim. 29 is Seattle. And 30
You could go.
Montreal.
You could go.
And 31 is Chicago. So they're
Who's 32?
30 is the Arizona Coyotes.
So where are the Kraken?
Kraken are in 29.
Okay.
So they're down there.
Yeah. We talked about that. We talked about that going with the baseball season last year, or earlier this year, I should say. It's so damn early. I don't expect the Blues to stay up there. I expect the Lightning to come back up. Can you run through the top 10 again real quick before I move on?
Yeah, but hang on a minute. Number 1 was Florida. Number 2 was Carolina. Let me bring it back up here real quick.
Yeah. Carolina and Florida, I can see having staying power. They could stay up there in the top 5 all year.
Edmonton is 3. I don't see that being up
there. Edmonton's a streaky team. They could very easily go on an 8-game losing skid.
4 is St. Louis. 5 is Washington. 6 is San Jose. I don't see them staying up there.
Yeah, I don't see them staying up there either.
7 is Pittsburgh. They're going to get a lot of their.
They're going to get once they get Malkin and Crosby back. They're going to be, if they're already 7, they're going to be dangerous for the rest of the year.
And Letang as well. And then the Rangers. The Rangers are 8. The Lightning are 9, and Boston is 10. That's the top 10.
I think Boston's too high.
I think when it's all said and done, I think it's going to come down to Florida and Tampa Bay in the division here. Well, my division down here. I think it's going to come down to those 2 teams, and the Red Wings.
I think the Islanders are a better team than them. I'm playing good to start the season. We'll see where it goes, and we'll see where we're at Thanksgiving. Plus, we don't have an All-Star game this year. I mean, the Olympics break, so we have 2 weeks.
I think we will.
You don't think we'll play? I forgot it wasn't. They didn't agree to anything. They were talking about it. I was thinking they had an agreement.
I think they're gonna have an All-Star.
From where? 25? They're not gonna snap it. Nope. Timeout. This way, timeout.
They try to kick the field goal.
If you're just gonna take the field goal,
well, I mean, you're only down they missed the extra point, so you might as well go for the goal. And you're only down by 3.
Yeah.
We don't talk about rugby very often. I know we had some rugby on a couple weeks ago, but these are 6 legends that are going to be inducted into the World Rugby Hall of Fame. Now, guys, I don't know any of these guys, so don't bear with me because I don't know any of these.
That's okay. We don't either.
I can't comment on this because I have no idea who they are.
I don't know who these people are either. It would be Asi Kazala, if I'm even pronouncing that correctly.
Oh, yeah, that guy. Yep.
Humphrey Kinej, Harina Manuel Carpenter. So these are females, too. Cheryl McAfee, Will Carving, and Jim Teller are all the 6 legends that are being inducted into the World Rugby Hall of Fame.
Is that in Australia?
Yes, it will be in Australia.
That's cool.
So
Good for them. Congratulations.
The first guy is from Fiji. The second guy is from Kenya. The first female carpenter is from New Zealand. Cheryl McAfee is from Australia. Will Carling is from England. And Jib Tefler is from Scotland. So, as you can see, there are no Americans going into the World Rugby Hall of Fame, at least not this year.
Probably not for a while, yeah.
Probably not for a while. The first guy did play for the Fiji national team. So he's well known there.
I like rugby, but it's never on around here, you know? I mean,
well, I think the whole thing with it, Bud, is it's on the weekends and it's on at odd times of the afternoon.
Right.
It's on at 2
it's on
in the afternoon.
And it's always on up against something else.
Right. Correct.
Whether it's football or baseball or NASCAR, you know, it's on up against something else I'm watching. What's that?
Mexican cockfighting or?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's before the cockfighting.
Oh.
That's a different channel entirely.
That's on Ocho, right? That's on ESPN 8.
That's on the Ocho, yes.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Or bear wrestling. Or bear wrestling. Mm.
Yeah.
I thought the bear wrestling. I don't. And here I thought the Bears wrestled at the cockfight.
It's on after.
Is it now?
Gotta watch those bears. Mm.
That's a whole different kind of. That's a whole different kind of hub.
Yeah.
So this is what's interesting about the CFL.
Yeah, dear.
They're having entertainment problems in their league, but here's the but.
They only play 3 downs.
But they are nearly sold out for the Grey Cup. So tell me how that makes any darn sense.
Which is a championship game.
Yeah.
In Hamilton.
It's the only game that matters.
It's in Hamilton.
It's like our Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just asking.
Wow.
If they're having entertainment issues with people,
because it's the most important. I mean, look at the world's. Look at this. The Daytona 500. NASCAR struggles to sell tickets everywhere else.
Yes.
But at the 500, everybody.
Yes.
And they actually went for it and got it. Is he going to score? Is he going to score? Touchdown.
Touchdown.
He had 152 yards last Saturday, baby. I was there to see them finally break
against Tempo, right?
So what do you mean they have entertainment problems, though? I don't get that.
I attended my first post-game press conference.
I saw that. How was that?
It was an experience. I'll tell you what. It was an experience to see Jeff Scott smile and to be in that room. I mean, I didn't ask any questions, but just, I mean, I will be honest with you. I apologize if the phone kept falling down. My arms got tired. I was trying to hold the phone up. My arms got tired and my arms fell down. So if you go back and watch the video, right. My arms.
You gotta get yourself a little. You gotta get one of those. You gotta get one of those carrying things that you can put over your shoulder. Put your phone right there.
I have a tripod, and I probably could have just put my camera on the. There was a big camera in the back. I probably just could have set it on the stage, and not even just video cammed it from my phone that way.
Well, you just always do what they used to do and just do audio.
And you know what's funny, man? I had my audio recorder with me, so it's funny that you say that. I had.
Or you could have done. Unless you could have turned the video off and just done audio. Put your arms down.
Put it on my lap. Yeah.
But you know, I think the problem with the problem I have with CFL football is that they play 3 downs. And there's not enough downage to make starting to get you 10 yards and 2 downs is impossible.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to average 5 yards in 2 plays. With NFL or with American football, both college and pro, high school, Pop Warner, and whenever you get 11 on 11, you have to go. You get 3 downs. Did they give him?
Bumble.
That ball is out.
Gone.
Recovered by USF.
Oh, I still give me watching. I have on the Packers game.
Yeah.
We're watching the USF game, but keep us informed, Lewis, about the Packer game.
It's just really starting here. Green Bay though has the ball.
Arizona punted on their first possession.
But at the whoops, you dope.
But yeah, that's what I don't like about CFL football is that they only play. You basically have 3 downs.
Right.
You have first down, or you basically. I mean, sorry, excuse me, 2 downs. So if you don't pick it up on the first
2 downs, yeah.
And in American football, you got 3 downs to pick up 10 yards.
Yes.
So you can go. If you get 2 plays of 4, you can get 1 play of 3, and you got a first down. So you can run on first and second down, and then still have the opportunity to run or throw on third down, depending on what happened on the first 2 downs.
That's exactly right.
With Canadian League football, if you don't get a good gain on first down, you throw on second down, and then you either have to go for it on third down or punt.
Yeah.
And the numbers are not. I don't care what the numbers say. I don't care about what statistics say. Statistics are. It's like Mark Twain said. There are 3 types of lies: lies, damn lies, and statistics. And that's all that statistics are, is just a damn lie. There's situational football, and that should have been offensive pass interference. Flip back to the USF game. But and when you there's we can talk about that when we get to college football.
Right.
But there's that idea of going for it on 4th down. It has to be the right situation. That's a touchdown.
And that's.
Wow.
Well, here's the thing, dude. I got to write an article about this game, so that's why I'm paying attention. I got to get it in tomorrow, so yeah. It'll be up.
Yeah.
On
but
Sunday.
no, but that's me. That is me as the entertainment problem with, and the couple of CFL games that I flipped on of the last couple of weeks have been blowouts. They've been terrible football games.
Yes.
They've just been on, 32-7, 54-17, whatever. I can't remember what.
Like last week's just Miami game.
Well, do you guys think that that's why the whole XFL merger was going to happen and more entertainment in there?
More money is what I was thinking. I figured they would do it. They were doing it for the money.
I think so too.
The CFL has the fan base. They have the pedigree. They have the money. The XFL wants the money. They want to cut, and then they know that they can't. We've talked it to death about starting a new damn professional league at the highest level. Mm-hmm. At the highest level, starting a professional league, you have to have money in buckets. You have large bucket. Several very large buckets.
Yes.
You can't just have 5 guys with a couple $1 billion to split between them and start a league. Because you have to find places to play. You have to rent buildings. You have to rent places to play. You have to compete with established franchises in those places. Go to places that don't have franchises and therefore either be stuck playing in a minor league arena or playing in a high school arena, or somehow convince Shanghai all of the residents of that city into financing a new stadium, which can take 2 to 5 years. So let's say you're taking 10 teams in, you're putting a team in Los Angeles, New York, Detroit, Chicago, LA. Mm-hmm. Did I say LA twice? Oh well. Yeah. And then you're gonna put 2 teams in. Let's say we're starting the XFL. We're starting back up. 2023, 2022 comes around.
I was just gonna talk about that. Dwayne Johnson traveled to New York to relaunch. That they announced that they are relaunching the XFL. Go ahead.
Kick the tires and see what's going on. You're looking at, let's say you're going to put a team in Birmingham, because Birmingham, Alabama is a huge football area. Let's say you're going to put a team in Tyler, Texas, huge football area. Mm-hmm. I mean, you look at the names of football players that have come out of Tyler, Texas, and it's a who's who of high school football players in Texas. And then so you were looking at getting into markets the NFL isn't in.
Right.
But how are you going to break into those markets and compete? Because you have to convince the cities of those cities that your team needs a stadium to play in. And where are you going to put it? You look at Detroit, Chicago, Miami, New York, LA, Anaheim. It's not that hard, even Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's had sports franchises for 30 plus years now. Miami, Detroit, Chicago, New York. You think of the the founding cities of major American sports. Detroit, Chicago, New York, L.A. The preeminent, the big five, the mafia families of sports. If you're gonna have a sports league, you gotta have teams in these cities.
Right.
You don't want to wake up with a horse head in your bed. You gotta have a team in our city. And or new markets, burgeoning markets like Las Vegas or Seattle.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think if the XFL wants to come back, putting a team in Vegas might be a good idea.
I think a place that would really be a good place is Birmingham or Huntsville.
How about St. Louis?
St. Louis would be a good place.
Yeah, St. Louis would be good too.
St. Louis. I want to say the XFL, I think the first time around had a team in St. Louis.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
They had a team in Tampa. They had a team in Detroit.
Well, here's the thing with Tampa. From what I heard, the Vipers were here. I got to attend 2 games before the pandemic shut the league down.
Right.
But I heard through the grapevine that they want to send the team to Orlando because they can draw more people in Orlando. Because, again, if you think back to the Arena League, we had the Tampa Bay Storm that played in Amalie Arena where the Lightning play. And the Orlando Predators played in Orlando. And just like the UCF, USF is what they call the Warren I-4. You guys don't know what I-4 is, guys. It's a major highway that connects Tampa and Orlando.
It runs east to west.
It runs east to west. That's correct. It's the major highway that connects the two. And let me just say, as a guy that has driven on that road more times than I can count, just don't go there when there's a lot of traffic because you will get backed up on that interstate.
I heard.
But so they are bringing the league back. Looks like it's going to be 2023 when we see the XFL come back.
Right.
And the problem, it's the same damn problem they've had for every league and every sport that has ever tried to compete with the big dogs in the last 30 years.
Forget it.
They don't have the damn money.
No.
I'm not playing football for $50,000. You're out of your bleeping mind.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that you're out of your bleeping mind. I'm not playing professional football for $50,000. You can take that and spin that sumbitch sideways and shove it straight up your candy ass.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Well, the only thing that I can think of why Dwayne Johnson bought the league from Vince McMahon is he believes in his heart that I'm the Rock. I can draw people because of who I am, because of my movie career. I'm just saying, Lewis. I'm just saying that's what I think in the back of his mind.
Yeah, I know. That's what I know.
I'm not saying that I believe that. I'm just saying that that's what he believes. He believes that not a lot of people like Vince McMahon. I mean, Vince McMahon wasn't the most likable guy. I don't think he still is the most likable guy. But he's got a lot of money. He can do whatever the hell he wants.
An asshole.
Yeah, he's got a shit ton of money. He can do whatever the hell.
I prefer actually Ed McMahon. Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I mean, I think that's what he's banking on, that there'll be people that know him in the movie industry that will invest in the league, and they'll get investors that way to where they can keep the league alive. But just like Adam said, you're not going to play for $50,000 like they were playing for when the league started 2 years ago.
No, we stick that straight up your ass.
We discussed the difference between pay. Because I think
the base level.
The league minimum in the NFL, I think, is like $800,000. That's a league minimum. So there you go.
League rookie minimum is $800,000.
Yeah. Okay. So what's
that's
900 or is it a mil?
It's somewhere in there. And Rocky, I mean, as beloved as he is, his net worth is only $320 million.
Yeah.
Vince is worth over $1 billion. And that's the problem, is there's just not enough money in that.
Yeah.
Even if Dwayne was to invest $1 million or $100 million, $100 million. $100 million divided by 52, then that's just your starting roster. That's just paying your players. That's not paying anybody else. Like, I can get my access to my ding bling blang calculator, and I can do the math. It's just over $1 million. It's just under $2 million a player.
Yeah.
But I mean, when NFL minimum for a rookie is just under $1 million,
Mm-hmm.
and that's everybody. That's everybody. All your starters, all your backups. You don't have even $100 million. Isn't enough because the average NFL roster, the salary cap is just under $200 million right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and even Rocky, even if he invests $100 million, you can only do that for 2 teams.
Yeah.
3 teams, maybe. Because I don't know what his bills are. I don't know what kind of outstanding debts he has. I mean, his net worth is $320 million, but how much of that is he spending every year?
Yeah.
If he's spending $319 million a year on his various different ventures and buying yachts and trips to the Hamptons, and if he buys 320 bottles of $1 million wine, well, all of his money's gone.
Yeah.
I don't know what his financial constraints are, and this idea, even if if you have 10 billionaires put up, you need 10 billionaires to put up $10 billion to really even have a chance to take on the NFL, to even start thinking about taking on the NFL.
Well, I think that's the one thing too. I think, and we've discussed that many times before too. You don't need to compete with the National Football League. If you want to do a spring league, do it in the spring.
Mm-hmm.
Do it after the Super Bowl is over.
Right. That's
that way, all of us football fans can have football to watch.
We're still jonesing for one more week.
Yeah.
And that's my problem. My problem though is that in February, after the Pro Bowl, we have that week in between the conference championship games and the Pro Bowl and the Super Bowl. And the week after that, I'm still, one more week, man. I could go for another week of football.
So could I.
And then by the third week, that by the end of February, I'm good on football until August.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm ready to, I'm doing other things. I'm watching NASCAR's back, the NHL playoffs, the NBA playoffs are getting ready, it's the push to the playoffs. Spring training's opened up. I'm ready for a break from football. I want to do other things. I want to focus on other things.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like having my Sunday afternoons that, and if you're telling me this league's going to come on and they're going to be on from February to July 4th or whenever they decide to call it a season.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be invested. I have other things going on. I've watched 16 weeks of college football. I've watched 20 some odd weeks of NFL football. I'm footballed out, man. I'm ready for a break. And then you're going to tell me this XFL thing is going to come around and they're not competing. They're not, these guys aren't going to I don't need to watch these guys to see where they're going to be next year. Man,
that's what doesn't work.
Well, I mean, and like I said, guys, I'll be honest with you. When I went and covered the Vipers here, there's I mean, the lower bowl, most of the lower bowl Raymond James Stadium was filled, but not all of it. There were big gaps in seats. And I was told by a season ticket holder that they were giving free tickets to their season ticket holders to get people to show up. So
there wasn't like 10 tickets?
Like 10 tickets per season ticket holder.
Right.
If you have 2 seats, you got 20 free seats to hand out.
Right.
That's insane. I got asked a couple of times, so I wish I could, but I'll be in the booth. I get to sit up there and get fed for free and all that stuff. But I mean, for the most part, I don't know. It's gonna fail again, and then hopefully it will go away, and we won't have to be talking about it, or we can talk about the demise of it if that's the case. But
I just don't understand why they.
Yeah.
I just don't know how you can compete against anybody anymore.
Yeah, I don't think you can.
Right, I don't know why either, or how.
I don't think you can compete against the NHL or the NFL or Major League Baseball or the NBA.
Any of the major sports,
yeah.
All right, so the WNBA, guys, is in their off season. So here are some free agents that are now going to be free agents during the off season for the WNBA. You have, can the Chicago Sky repeat? as champions next year. The Sky will have to do a free agency first. Candace Parker and Eliza Stevens are the only players guaranteed for next year. So there's them. So there are some questions with that. Will Ella Deladone, will she get on the court again next year? That's going to be, she's had 2 back surgeries. Was that the final Bird Taurasi matchup? Are we done seeing both of those players?
More so Taurasi.
The official end to the Lynx core. Scheduling questions impact on national TV broadcast. With the 2022 FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup scheduled for September 22nd till October 1st, that will force the league to move the finals up rather than break for the Olympics. So that's going to be interesting to see how they deal with that. The biggest free agents so who are they? Let's see here. Jacquel Jones, Elijah Wilson, Breonna Stewart, Sylvia Flows, and Tina Charles could all move places this offseason. So those are some of the big free agents within the league. Louis, you're more prone about this or not. Do you see any of those ladies being moved to different teams next year, or they stay put?
I think the majority of them are going to stay put. I also want to see them moving. There's some of the big names there, but I think we have seen the last of Diana Taurasi. I think she's going to call it quits.
She's going to retire. You think she's going to retire?
I think she's going to call it quits. Yeah.
Okay.
It'd be her 18th year in the league. You know, she's almost of a certain age. I'm not going to say, but I think she's done all she can do, and she was really happy after the loss to Chicago last week. And I can tell by that she doesn't feel content of even, I don't think, playing anymore. So I think we have seen the last of one of the great players in WNBA. What a shame.
Well, here's the thing with her. Do you see her going into broadcasting or becoming a coach, or maybe both?
I see her becoming a coach.
Coach, okay. I could see her being a broadcaster first, and then going into coaching. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she goes into coaching, takes a year or 2 off, and then goes back and becomes a coach. I'm sure that she would be one hell of a coach. One hell of a player. She'd be one hell of a coach.
No question about it.
Yeah. Let me talk about another women's league real quick, and that would be the NWSL. Now, Kansas City made history. They will be the first ever stadium built specifically for women's soccer. Kansas City is spending, I think, I want to say like $88 million or $800 million to build them a new stadium in Kansas City. And it looks like the Louisville franchise will be the first NSF to provide players with health benefits for fertility services. So then again, you don't think that women's athletes have to go through fertility issues. So there you go with them. So, I mean, that
of course,
the Louisville team is going to be the first to make sure that, hey, they're going to take care of their players and make sure that they can still have children if they do desire once they hang it up. Thinking of that, who last night hung it up for good for the USA team? Darn it, who was the women's
Jersey's own Carly Lloyd?
Carly Lloyd. She's the
Jersey's
one.
Own.
Yep. She walked off the field last night for the final time.
Great player.
You got me on that one. I have
no
idea.
It was Susie actually, though, but still.
Yeah, well, again, I think she's won 2 World Cups, 2 gold medals. I mean, you can't. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good career for a soccer player when you have won 2 World Cups and 2 gold medals, which, I was on a podcast on Sunday, just this past Sunday. We interviewed the first ever women's skeleton gold medalist, and she won it in 2002. Yeah. Now, you guys won't see that show because it's not live and it won't be put on the internet till May next year.
Yeah.
So I will be tagged. You'll be able to see it.
Okay.
But
you have to keep an eye out for that.
We interviewed her. So that was cool. But again, I'm happy to see that the NWSL, after what they've gone through this season with their own sexual misconduct accusations this year, and their commissioner resigned and everything else that was going on. So
yes,
do you guys want to discuss the WWE and AEW, or do you want to skip over those and go to soccer, basketball, NASCAR, NFL, or college football? I have everything. Where you guys want to go next?
I ain't really got anything for any of those other than college and pro ball.
Yeah, go to football.
Yeah, because we probably usually that's how we close the show at the 9:00 hour.
You want to go? You want to go to NCAA, or you want to go to?
Yeah. I want to talk college. I want to talk college football.
Yes,
because I have a ring.
All right. So college football. So I guess there is a little argument going on between Dabo Swinney and Mike Norvell, and guess what? Florida State plays Clemson this week, so I want to see how that all plays out this year.
Mm-hmm.
But
neither one of those guys has any right to be taking shots at the other one with the way how their teams have played.
I agree with that. I wholeheartedly agree.
It's like Vince Lombardi said: when you win, say nothing. When you lose, say even less.
Yes.
By the way, the Padres have hired Bob Melvin as their new manager.
That's what I wanted to mention before we switched off of baseball, but I couldn't. It wasn't coming to me. Good hire.
Yeah,
Melvin's a good manager. Great hire. So who's been chirping who? Was it Dabo Swinney started chirping Mike Norvell?
Something like that, but something like that.
I don't know.
They've had beef from previous, because remember now, you had. Well, Norvell was in the AAC, which had nothing to do with the ACC, so I don't know where.
Where was he originally? Was he at UCF?
Norvell was at Memphis.
Okay, Memphis.
So I don't think Florida State played Memphis recently enough to where, Clemson played Memphis. Not that I'm aware of.
I don't remember.
Maybe they met down the road somewhere. I don't remember.
They may have been assistants somewhere or had some kind of beef somewhere. Or else I'm not sure exactly what the comments were made. But neither one of them needs to be chirping the other. I hate, it's such the last thing you need to be doing as a professional, especially as a leader of a team,
yes,
is out there chirping the other guys, because all that's going to is going to fire them up to hit you harder.
You're right.
You leave that to the fans. You let the fans chirp. You let the fans talk. Mm-hmm. You let us morons here on the internet, whose job it is to make headlines and to write articles and to get on here and talk, do the chirping and do the talking.
Yeah.
You keep your mouth shut.
Right.
Because if I'm wearing a Seminoles helmet and I walk off the field with anything less than your blood on my uniform, I didn't do my job right.
I'll see them this time next month, so.
Where is that? Is it in Tallahassee or
it's in Gainesville? It's in Gainesville.
No. This.
Oh, I'm sorry. The game is in the game with Florida State and Clemson is fumble.
Did they really fumble it on 4th and goal?
Yep, they sure did.
Yep.
USF recovered it.
By hell.
It's in Clemson. It's a 3:30 kickoff. And
if I'm not going back to Tallahassee covered in your blood, I didn't do my job right.
The line is 9.5. The Tigers are favored by 9.5. The over/under is 47. If you want to talk about that game, we can talk about that game.
All right.
I think Florida State steals one.
Think Florida State wins the game?
I think they go up to Clemson and hand them another loss. Clemson's on the slide. Like I said last week, honestly, Pittsburgh that beat them?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Before I went on vacation, took a couple days off. The only game I watched was a Michigan game. I watched a little bit of the Illinois Penn State game. What a disaster that was. What a travesty.
And overtime?
Unwatchable garbage. They're just stupid. That's a nice little run. But yeah, Clemson's vulnerable this year. I know Florida State ain't any good either, but you're gonna get Clemson. This is the year to get them.
Yeah, I agree. One of my bosses, Bud, is a Seminoles fan. Both his kids went to Florida State, and I said, if you're going to beat Clemson, it's this year. They're vulnerable. Yep. You take them out now. Because if not, they're only going to get better because they'll figure out what.
Mm-hmm.
They'll get themselves a quarterback. The Bulls are going to break up by 8. Okay, that's a good first half.
Oh yeah.
I'm looking at the other game that's going on right now is Coastal Carolina's up 21-14 over Troy.
That's about close ball game. I watched a little bit of that one.
That's on ESPN2. That's what it says.
As close as I thought it was going
to be. We'll start, guys, with noon. The number 2 Bearcats are on the road in New Orleans to play Tulane, the Green Wave. The Bearcats are a 26-point favorite with the over-under being 62 even.
That game's a joke. It's gotta be Cincinnati all the way. It's a blowout.
Yeah, Tulane's 1-6 this year. That's their record.
Yeah. They played Clemson. They played Florida State. Well, they should have beat Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I will take Cincinnati. I'll take the under.
Okay.
And Tulsa covers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next game at noon is the Battle of Michigan. Number 6 Wolverines traveling to play Sparty. The line is the Wolverines are a 4-point favorite with the over/under being 50.5.
Backyard brawl.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go Michigan here.
I'm gonna go Michigan too. I think they're playing very well right now.
Yes.
I think they find a way to win on the road.
I was watching Game Day, whatever the pregame show was.
Is that where they're going to be there, right? Is that where they're going to be? Okay.
Game Day and Fox are going to both be at
right
in East Lansville. Michigan.
Yes.
The over.
Michigan the over? Okay.
And the points.
And
42-14 Wolverines.
The next noon game is the Iowa Hawkeyes are on the road in Madison to play the Badgers. Wisconsin is a 3.5-point favorite with the over/under being 36.5.
Woo!
I'm still taking Iowa.
They're spending a barn burner there, aren't they? I'll take Iowa. You say 3? Yeah, Iowa over and the under.
All right. You have Texas on the road against number 16 Baylor. Baylor is the 2.5-point favorite with the over/under being 61.5.
Baylor.
I'll take Texas.
Okay.
Baylor.
I'll take the under.
Yeah. All right. The last noon game in the top 25 is Miami's on the road to play number 17 Pittsburgh. The Panthers are a 9-point favorite with the over/under being 61.
I like Pitt.
I'm going with Pitt too.
Okay.
I like Pitt since the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
The game at 2:00 has the number 22 Iowa State Cyclones on the road in Morgantown to play the Mountaineers. The Cyclones are a 7-point favorite with the over/under being 48.
Iowa State.
Okay.
I'll take Iowa State too.
Okay.
I'll take the under. And I'll take the points.
The game that I'll be paying close attention to will be the number 1 Georgia Bulldogs on a neutral location against the Florida Gators. Georgia's a 14-point favorite with the over/under being 51.
Georgia all the way.
I agree.
Give me Georgia. What was the line? What was the over/under?
The line is 14 in favor of the Bulldogs. Over/under is 51.
Give me the Bulldogs for the cover. Give me the over.
Okay. The other 3:30 game has the Texas Tech Red Raiders on the road in Norman to play the Sooners. The Oklahoma is a 19.5-point favorite with the over/under being 67.
Texas
Give me
Tech.
Oklahoma. Yeah.
Texas Tech. Okay.
I like Oklahoma.
Okay.
I think they cover. And the under.
The next game is the Colorado is on the road to play the Ducks in Eugene. Oregon is a 24-point favorite with the over-under being 49.
Over who?
It's 49. It's Colorado on the road against Oregon.
The Buffaloes?
The Buffaloes.
Oregon. The Buffaloes cover. And the under.
Yeah, Oregon and Buffalo cover.
Okay. The next game is the 4:00 game. It's the Duke Blue Devils on the road to play the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest, who are undefeated. Number 13. They have Wake favored by 16 points, with the over-under being 71. I did say 71. That's the over-under.
Holy shit.
They're expecting a hell of a lot of points in that game. That
That
means they're calling for one of them to score 40.
yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
If it was a basketball game, I would take Duke. But if it was football, I think I'll take Wake Forest on this.
Wake at home. I'll take
I like Wake Forest. I think Wake Forest the points and the over.
Yes.
All right.
Wake Forest has a potent offense.
At 7:00 you have a top 25 matchup. Ole Miss is on the road playing Auburn. The Rebels are ranked 10th. The Tigers are ranked 18th. The Tigers get the usual 3-point favorite at home, with the over-under being 66.5.
The LSU?
That's Ole Miss and Auburn.
Ole Miss and Auburn. Okay. Sorry, too many Tiger teams in the FCC.
That's it. Yeah.
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
Yeah, Ole Miss.
All
Ole
right.
Miss and the points.
Okay. The next game at 7:00 is the number 12 Wildcats on the road in Starkville to play the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Now, Mississippi State's a 1-point favorite with the over-under being 47.
Mississippi State and who?
Mississippi State and Kentucky.
Ooh, it's gonna be a good ball game. Kentucky
Mississippi State.
Mississippi State, okay.
and the under.
Okay. The next game is the Kansas Jayhawks on the road to play the Oklahoma State Cowboys, who got beat last week in Stillwater. Oklahoma is a 30.5-point favorite with the over-under being 54.5.
I think as soon as they're going to rebound.
Yeah.
That's the Cowboys, not Oklahoma.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
No, Oklahoma.
It's okay. It's not.
Okay.
It's state,
Yeah.
not Oklahoma. Yeah.
Right.
I
Which-
still like the Cowboys.
Those teams will beat each other down the road. But
I'm
yeah.
sure they will.
I like the Cowboys.
Yeah.
The next one, guys, is the undefeated number 19 SMU Mustangs on the road to play Houston. The line is a scratch, even. The over-under being 62, so it's a pick 'em.
Wow.
That's SMU, right?
SMU
SMU.
is 7-0. Houston is
Give me
6-1.
the Mustangs.
I'm taking
SMU
SMU.
is 3-0 in the conference, and
Yep.
Houston's 4-0 in the conference.
I'm taking SMU.
SMU?
Yep.
Houston won last week in Eastern Carolina because we were talking about that during our press conference. They had a 5-hour rain delay
Holy
Boy.
shit.
in Houston.
I would have gone home.
About play.
So,
The other big game in the Big Ten is the number 20 Nittany Lions on the road in Columbus to play Ohio State.
I
The
told you
Buckeyes
that
are
was a bad
18.5-point favorite with the over-under being 61.
this was supposed to be a much better game, and because of that,
Ohio State rolls.
last week now they were all the way down to 20th or whatever. I'm gonna have to go with Ohio State here, and they're
Yeah.
Ugh.
As much as it makes me feel sick to say it.
I mean that was a sick game anyway.
Well, I told you it was a trap game.
Yeah,
I told you it was a trap game. I said Illinois can win this one. It's a trap game. Penn State got looking too
you
far
did.
ahead.
You did. You're right.
I know what I'm talking about every now and again.
The next game.
Every now and again, I rub that crystal ball and I come up with one.
The next game is the Tar Heels are on the road to play the Irish, number 11 Notre Dame. The Irish are
Oh,
a
God.
3.5-point favorite with the over-under being 62.5.
I hate the Irish so much. Yeah, I'll take Notre Dame.
I'll go Notre Dame.
All right.
Notre Dame in the points. It pains me to say that, just as much as it pains me to say that over. Yeah. The last thing that I said.
The next game at 10:15 has Virginia on the road against number 25 BYU.
Oh, Virginia?
I
like them.
The BYU.
I like BYU.
And then 64 is the over.
I'm going to go Virginia.
No, BYU in the under.
Okay. And then the last top 25 matchup is Fresno State at San Diego State. The line is the Aztecs are a 1-point favorite, and the over-under is 44.5.
Oh, wow. It's going to be a tough game.
They're in Carson, California.
San Diego and Nevada?
San Diego and Fresno State.
Fresno State. Ooh, that's a good game.
Yeah.
You have
Fresno.
You have 6-2 versus 7-0, and you have 3-0.
Fresno's not a bad football team, though. I mean, I mean, they ain't gonna play. They ain't gonna take Alabama. They ain't gonna go wire to wire with Alabama. But they can hang with. They can hang with San Diego State. I like Fresno's chances.
I'm gonna go with San Diego State.
Okay.
San Diego State should have lost to San Jose State should have lost to. San Diego State should have lost to San Jose State 2 weeks ago, but San Jose State pissed it away.
We're going to go ahead, guys, and jump to the Big Ten real quick. For the rest of the games in the conference, you have the Scarlet Knights on the road in Champlain playing the Illini. Rutgers is a 1.5-point favorite with the over-under being 40.
Yeah, right.
I swear to God, they are a favorite.
Yeah, they're still going to lose. Illinois is going to win.
Yeah, I like Illinois.
Okay. All right. Indiana is on the road in College Park, Maryland, to play the Terrapins. Maryland's a 5.5-point favorite, the over-under being 49.5.
I think I'll say
Indiana.
Indiana. Yeah, I'm going to go Indiana there.
Maryland's trash. Give me Indiana.
Well,
you have the Golden Gophers on the road in Evanston to play Northwestern. Minnesota's a 7.5-point favorite with the over-under being
really.
Northwestern.
Okay.
I like Minnesota. Minnesota's a better football team. Northwestern's trash.
You have Purdue on the road to play Nebraska. The Cornhuskers are a 7.5-point favorite.
Purdue.
Over-under 52.5.
I hate Nebraska, so give me Purdue.
Purdue.
Okay.
I don't even care. Nebraska could be win. Nebraska could win by.
Tom Norris were back, they would win, but nope.
I'm going to go to the rest of the SEC. Missouri is on the road to play Vandy. The Tigers are a 16.5 there with the over-under being 62.5.
Vandy's a joke.
Yeah, not a funny one either. They're like one of those ones that the headliner comes out and nobody says anything.
Yeah.
It's not even an unfunny joke where everybody groans. It's just one of those ones that comes out and dies.
Yeah.
The funny thing is that's the only non-top 25 SEC game this week. Everyone else in the conference.
Can we look at who's the let's one more game before I want to go on a rant, if I may.
Go ahead.
What does USTA? Who are they?
USTA, what conference are they in?
Conference USA?
Conference USA.
Conference USA.
Mountain West?
Let's see. Conference
University of Texas at San Antonio, Austin.
I have UTEP, Florida Atlantic, Charlotte, Western Kentucky, Southern Miss, North Texas. I don't see them on here. Maybe they're off this week.
Maybe they're not in. Maybe I'm in the wrong.
And then the Conference USA.
UTSA. There we go. The Roadrunners. They play. They're off.
They're off.
Yep,
okay.
They're off this week. They got UTEP coming up in a couple weeks.
So they are in. You're right. Then they are in the
Conference USA.
Conference USA.
Yeah.
The UTEP's playing Florida League this week.
Well, they're another one of the. They're one of the power. They're one of the group of 5 undefeateds.
Okay.
but that conference is almost dead.
All right. Well, not that it was ever alive anyway. It was a Frankenstein's monster of a hodgepodge of crappy teams anyway.
That's true.
Well, I want to say I think North Texas and somebody else Florida Atlantic agreed to come to the American.
Yeah, there was like 6 teams that agreed to come to the
American. So that conference will be disappearing here soon. So, yeah.
So, I have a rant.
Okay.
I've talked about it before, but there is a coach. He was a coach in Arizona or Arkansas, and he didn't believe in he didn't believe in punting. Never punted. Always went for 2, and always went for onside kicks.
Okay.
Which is a great strategy if you're playing Madden, and you can turn the damn game off when it doesn't go your way. Trust me, I've been there. I've done that. But when you're playing real football against real teams, then you can't just shut the game off. There is a very real situation called situational football. Figure that one out. I believe in being aggressive. I believe there's a certain portion of the field where it doesn't make any sense to kick it, whether it be a field goal or a punt. Anything outside of your own 40, inside their 35. It also depends on the score in the game, where kicking it doesn't behoove you at all. So it also depends on the 4th down situation. 4th and 4 from your own 39. Yeah, you gotta kick it, because it doesn't do you any good to give them a 40-yard field. 4th and 4 from your own 50. The most you can gain is 49 yards, but on average, you're looking, if your kicker is any good, you're looking at a 49 to 54 yard punting average. So and then he's gonna have to take something off of it, try and corner kick it. So at most, let's say he kicks it to the 15, no return. So you're picking up about 30 yards of field position. You're really not putting your defense in that much of a disadvantageous position to go for it. Let's look at another scenario. 4th and 7. In the first quarter, from your own 12. Punt the damn ball. I don't care what the numbers say. I don't care about percentages. I don't care about statistics.
Analytics.
The analytics is just statistics for football nerds.
Yes.
There are 3 types of lies. Gone over this once already. We're going to go over it again. Lies, damn lies, and statistics. And when it comes to analytics, you have to know it's situational football. They lost last week 28-69. Going for it, and they didn't even go for 2 on all their touchdowns anyway. So they kicked the extra point at some point.
Right.
I understand being aggressive. I don't have a problem with being aggressive. When the situation calls for it. Sometimes you're better off just kicking it. In the Bills-Titans game a couple weeks ago, 4th and 1, terrible play call. Who came up with that? Allen steps to the right. He's 6'4", 230. Have him fall forward 6 inches, for Christ's sake.
Tom Brady can do it.
Tom Brady's the best who have ever done it. I mean, as good as he's 50-50 on that. He has a better, at one point in his career, he had a better percentage on 3rd and 4th and 1 than Marshawn Lynch.
Who are you talking about, Bud? You said Arkansas?
He was a high school coach in Arkansas.
Oh, okay.
And
I thought you meant the University of Arkansas. I'm like, wait a minute, they won 45-3 last week.
No. He's okay. Coaching right now. He's currently coaching at Presbyterian College. They're an FCS school.
Okay.
And this whole idea, of never punting, always going for 2, and always going for the onside kick. In their first 2 games, they beat St. Andrews 84-43. They beat Fort Lauderdale 68-3. Then they got shelled by Campbell 72-0. Dayton, they played better against Dayton and lost 63-48. That's where Steph Curry went and played college ball at. And then they lost to Morehead State 38-30. And they had a couple of 4th downs that they probably would have been better off punting and just playing defense.
Mm-hmm.
And then they lost to Davidson 70-35. So they got doubled up by Davidson. And then they got more than doubled up by San Diego. And they're 2-5 now. They got outscored 9-0, 26-14, 27-7, and 7, and then they tied in the 4th quarter. And you're just asking too much of your defense to constantly play on short fields.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's over. And scene.
Well, I guess the thing with him is maybe he doesn't want to. Maybe he wants to just go for it on 4th down all the time. He doesn't care where it's at. I don't know if maybe he doesn't.
Yeah, that's his philosophy
or whatever, you know.
Because the numbers say that you're better off going for it. Well, numbers lie. Because and you know, this is why situational football is so important. Because on 4th down from your own 12, 4th and 7 from your own 12, you don't go for it. Unless you got a 100%er, and it's got to be a 100%er.
Yeah.
You don't go for it. Unless your kicker is absolute trash.
Maybe he is.
Invest in a kicker.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the whole thing there too. Is maybe he doesn't believe in his kicking game, and like you said,
right.
There has to be a kid that wants to come to play college football for a scholarship. There's got to be somebody out there that will want to come in and kick.
And I don't care how. Even if he can only average 20 yards on his or 30 yards on his kick.
Yeah.
That at least gives your defense some room to work with.
Correct. Yeah.
I mean, on 4th and unless your kicking game is absolute trash.
Yes.
And you know you're only gonna get like 10 yards, then yeah, okay, maybe you might as well go for it. But I mean, most kickers in high school can kick 30 or 40 yards.
Right.
And you know, even the most terrible kicker in high school can at least kick 35 yards.
Right.
And that at least gets the ball out to your 30 or your 35. Dropped it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we can move to the National Football League. It looks like, if I saw correctly, that the 2023 Combine will be in Indianapolis. But I saw that they announced that the other day that it was going to be.
It usually is. So no surprises there. I'm okay with it. I don't have any problem with that.
Then, of course, the whole email thing is still under investigation.
Yeah.
Washington
Quite a
football
while.
team.
They want the numbers. They want the records released. The NFL doesn't want to release the records.
And it says here that Roger Goodell is
incompetent.
Is holding Dan Snyder accountable. Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Is going to hold Daniel Snyder accountable. Now, here's the question: if this all does come out, well, again, they have to have evidence, obviously. But here's the thing: do you force him to sell the team? Because obviously,
I mean, they forced Stern.
Yeah.
What's his name? Clippers, right?
Yeah, they forced that guy to sell.
Yep. Yeah, they'll force him to sell.
Yeah, they'll force him to sell. The other 31 owners will get together and tell him to get the hell out.
Yeah.
I think everybody should tell him to get the hell out.
Right. I mean, if he doesn't want to wake up with a horse head in his bed, he knows what's good for him.
they guys, they did announce that they are going to allow teams to interview new head coaching candidates during the final 2 weeks of the regular season.
Interesting.
They've moved that up.
Right around Christmas.
Here are
That'd be a terrible Christmas present.
nine NFC teams and 5 AFC teams that are already out of the playoff picture. It's NFL, CBS, Doctor.
Here we go.
CBS.
Hey, our team.
Here, so here we go.
No, our teams are out of the playoffs already, buddy.
What a shock.
The,
I know, right?
It says the entire NFC East besides Dallas, so are all 2 and 5. Detroit 0 and 7. Chicago 3 and 4. Atlanta 3 and 3. Carolina 3 and 4. Seattle 2 and 5. San Francisco 2 and 4. Those are the NFC teams they have listed down. And the AFC team.
Watch Washington. Watch Washington go on a tear and win 9 straight and finish
right
11-5. The Cowboys absolutely fall apart and have to play in Week 18 for a spot in the playoffs.
The 5 AFC.
Oh, did he pick that?
I don't know.
No,
Houston, Jacksonville, the Jets, Miami, and Denver are the teams that they have already issued out of the playoff picture.
Yeah.
Denver, Miami. Who else?
The Jets.
Denver, Miami, the Jets. Nah,
Denver, Miami.
never got it down.
No. Unfortunately. Oh well. Good play though. Because that saved the touchdown. There we go. Can you run through those AFC teams again real quick? I'm sorry.
You have Denver, the Jets,
Miami, Houston.
And who is the other one? Hang on right here.
Is it Pittsburgh?
No, it's not Pittsburgh.
Huh.
Jacksonville.
Oh yeah.
Of course. Duh.
Jacksonville. So the 1 o'clock games on Halloween.
Ooh, it's gonna be a fun weekend.
Trick or treat.
I love holiday weekend sports.
Yeah.
God, oh come on!
The 1 o'clock game is Carolina on the road against Atlanta. The Falcons are a 3-point home favorite, as they all get, and it's a 46.5 point over under in Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Atlanta and who?
Carolina.
Wow.
In Carolina or in Atlanta?
It's in Atlanta.
I like Carolina.
Falcons.
I wonder if is McCaffrey back yet?
No, I don't believe so.
Damn. Okay, give me Atlanta then.
The next game is a AFC.
Yep, that went off his hands.
AFC East battle that normally is pretty good. It's Miami on the road to play Buffalo in Orchard Park. The Bills are a 14-point favorite with the over/under.
Oh, Buffalo rolls.
Bills all the way.
Okay.
I need Buffalo. I need Josh Allen to have himself a day.
Yes.
The next game is
Josh Allen's my starting QB. So
in Soldier Field, the Bears are hosting the 49ers. The Niners are a 4-point favorite with the over 39.5.
Niners, I can't do anything with Chicago. Never could.
I agree.
ECU got a touchdown.
I heard that.
The next game is the 3-3 Steelers on the road to play Cleveland. The Browns are a 3.5 point favorite with the over/under being 42.5.
Browns.
Who was that? Sorry, I got
Pittsburgh and Cleveland.
Oh, Cleveland.
Okay.
Yeah.
Especially if Baker Mayfield comes back. If Mayfield and Hunt can play. Oh, Hunt's on the IR, so no, he won't play.
The next game is Philadelphia on the road in Detroit. The Eagles are a 3.5 point favorite, over under 48.
That's a top
Wait, the
one.
Lions are favored?
No, the Eagles are favored.
Eagles are favored.
Okay, that's better.
In Detroit, though.
in Detroit.
The Lions are a home dog yet again. How about that?
Yeah.
Beat the new boss, same as the old boss. Give me the Eagles. Give me the points. Give me the over.
We won't get fooled again.
Oh, no. With ownership, it's the same old song and dance. I can calm down if you need me to.
The next game is in Indianapolis.
That's my home team, and it's been 30 years of suffering. I have no sympathy and no love lost for them bastards. So
right.
I've been sitting here and watching them for years do the same thing. Have a decent coach, fire him, hire some bumble F, fire him, hire some even more net clown.
They're a dumpster fire. What can we say?
A dumpster. At least a dumpster fire goes out at some point.
When
it runs out of trash to burn.
Obviously, they still have a lot of trash left to burn.
And they're a tire fire is what they're a coal seam fire like that one in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Oh.
They play Chicago on Thanksgiving Day.
Who, the Lions?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
God,
well, our annual Thanksgiving Day beatdown. We're like the
I don't know. You got a rookie quarterback in Chicago. I don't know about that.
We're like the redheaded stepchild that always keeps coming back for more. Some kind of sadomasochist thing we got going on here.
Ooh, can't be good about that.
The next game is in Indianapolis.
Are you all right?
As the Titans. My camera keeps messing up.
Yeah.
The Titans are.
There we go.
On the road to play the Colts. The Colts are a 2.5-point favorite over to beat.
The Colts are wow. I like the Colts. I like the Titans. That's incomplete.
Titans.
Yeah. Derrick Henry has himself a day.
Oh, he will.
Oh, yeah. Derrick Henry's a beast.
He's at 191 carries for 869 yards and 10.
He's on pace for over 450 carries this year.
Wow.
I had the day off from work because we can't get parts, so I was watching NFL Good Morning Football. I like Good Morning. Out of all of the shows that are left, Good Morning Football is the only one that I watch. Every now and again, I watch Pat McAfee's show, but when it comes to morning sports talk, I watch Good Morning Football because they're the only ones that really talk about sports, and they're the only host that I can suffer to listen to. I really like Good Morning Football. But they were talking about that this morning. And Derrick Henry's on pace for like 474 carries alone, and another 50 some odd catches.
Right.
He's an absolute beast. He's a load, man. I don't know how long. I don't know if that's sustainable over the long haul, but for the next couple of years, you get what you can get. You know, he reminds me of if I said Larry Johnson, do you know who I was talking about?
Larry Johnson?
Which one?
Out of Penn State.
Okay, I thought you meant Larry Johnson.
Played in Kansas City.
Yeah. I thought you meant Larry Johnson, the basketball player.
No, Larry Johnson, the football player out of Penn State.
Right.
Henry's better, but kind of the workload. Because he would have over 200, 300 carries a year. Henry's a much better player, but Larry Johnson was a beast back in the day. He only had 2 or 3 good years because he kept getting concussions. And, you know.
Yeah.
You need to invest in that Power Plus mouth guard.
Right. Yeah, there you go. The next game is in MetLife Stadium as the Bengals come to town to play the Jets. The Bengals are a 10.5-point favorite with the over-under being 43.
I'd like to say I was right. And I'm going to pat myself on the back real quick.
You were right, Em.
Thank you. You don't really know what I was right about, but.
Well, they're the most improved team of the year.
Jamar Chase was a better pick than Penny Swell.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true, too.
I said that going into the draft. I don't care. I understand that the Cincinnati's offensive line had issues. I get that. I understand that. Okay? But I don't want a rookie offensive lineman with a sophomore quarterback. It's a recipe for disaster. You need a veteran quarterback who's got 5-10 years in the league, that knows protections. They can help an offensive lineman. That's comfortable with the other offensive lineman. They can read and react to what the defense is doing. You give a sophomore quarterback that's only got a year and a half, 2 years of experience in the NFL, a rookie offensive lineman. It's not a good recipe. And not on a bad offensive line. If you have a good offensive line that's a veteran of presence, that's a well-established good offensive line, then you can make it work. But with an offensive line that's struggled and an offensive line that needs a lot of help, you're better off going out and getting some seasoned veterans who may not be the best. You'd be, for want of numbers, like a rookie guy is going to come in, using Madden because, it's the best rating system out there. A rookie guy is going to come in 63, 65. You can go pick up a veteran who's a 70, 72 overall, 73. And you can slot him in, and he's already got, especially if you get him from a team where the head coach, or the offensive coordinator already was at. He's going to know the offense. He's going to be able to slot right in and pick the offense right up. As opposed to bringing in a rookie who you're going to have to teach the playbook. You're going to teach all the calls, teach all the protections. I thought Ja'Marr Chase, who's a receiver, his job is to go out there and run the best routes he can, run the routes he's given, and be open for his quarterback. And especially with the quarterback So that's why I thought Ja'Marr Chase was a better pick for Cincinnati coming into last year's draft. And again, I cede my time.
The last 1 o'clock game is the Rams on the road in Houston. It's a 14.5 point favorite for the Rams. 47.5 is the over/under.
I heard that the University of Houston was gonna take a shot at the Rams this week. They said the Texans said, "Why not? Go for it."
Idea.
Save us the trouble. Give me the Rams. Give me the points. What was the over/under?
Over/under is 47.5.
Give me the under.
Okay.
I don't know if the Rams have if Houston has enough to get you over 47. I think the Rams can score 35 or 40, but I don't know if Houston can score enough to get you over that.
40 to get 48.
Yeah. Like 33, even 33-10 or 33-12 still doesn't get you there.
No.
That should have been interference.
The first 4 o'clock game is the Patriots on the road in SoFi to play the Chargers. The Chargers are 4.5 point favorite with the over/under being 1.5.
How many and a half?
49.5.
I heard 1.5. I heard the over/under is 1.5.
1.5. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, they're expecting a butt runner to that one, aren't they? No. I like the Chargers, unfortunately. I like where Mac Jones is at. I think he's going to be a long-term. I think he is the future of New England. I think they were better. I think that Mac Jones is a better quarterback. At this point in his career, Mac Jones is a better quarterback than are they going to say win in the end zone?
No, they marked it down at the 1.
I didn't know if they were going to give him the 1 or if they were going to say he was in the end zone. Oh, that should be in the end zone. That should be a touchback. Sorry. Anyway, go ahead.
The next game is.
What that one was give me the Chargers. Give me the Chargers. I think New England can cover, and you said 49.5, and doesn't get to 49. Give me the under.
The next game is Jacksonville on the road in Seattle. The Seahawks are a 3.5 point favorite with the over/under being 44.
Seahawks.
And I'm gonna choose Jacksonville.
Okay.
I think Jacksonville shocks the world. Goes up to Seattle and knocks off the Hawks.
I think so, but okay.
I think That's my upset of the week. I think
Okay.
I think Seattle is a one-trick pony. Seattle is all Russell Wilson or nothing. And we've seen without Russell Wilson, they're nothing. I think they're 1-2 since Russell got hurt.
Yeah, that's true.
And
it's Jacksonville.
But Jacksonville, that offense has potential, and I really like. I wasn't sold on him a couple of years ago, but I really like Trevor Lawrence. I think he's coming along nicely. I think he'll be a future star of the league. I'm not ready to give up on Trevor Lawrence. I think he's going to be a good quarterback. I think that people are too hard on young quarterbacks early in their career, especially in bad offenses with not a lot of help around them. For as good as Tom Brady is, if he doesn't have the help around him, he can look average, he can look pedestrian. I mean, look at his last couple of years in New England. He was they didn't look like the Patriots of old. They weren't the 3-13, 4-2, 15-0, 15-1, 16-0 New England that they were 15 years ago. So to say that Trevor Lawrence is a bust in his first 8 games is kind of ridiculous. And the same thing with Urban Meyer. I know the video looked bad, and knowing what I know now, it was a terrible choice on his part, and a complete lack of judgment. But I think they weather that storm. Look to turn it around. They've got to win on the year. They already got that monkey off their back. They won't go winless. So I see Jacksonville going up to Seattle and stealing one.
Then you have the Washington football team in Denver playing the Broncos. The Broncos are a home 3-point favorite, with the over-under being 44.5.
Broncos.
Yeah, give me the Broncos.
Okay. The Buccaneers are on the road against the Saints. The Bucs are a 4.5-point favorite, with the over-under being 49.5. Safety!
Oh, I didn't get to see it.
Did it safety or did they go offside? So you have the Bucs and the Saints on the
Saints.
Where?
They're in New Orleans. The Bucs
in the Big
are
Easy.
4.5-point.
They give them forward progress to the 1. Bucs Saints 4-point Bucs favorites.
Yeah,
and the over under was what?
49.5.
I like the Bucs. New Orleans will cover. You can give me the under. I see this week as being a low scoring week.
The Monday night game is Dallas on the road.
That's a safety.
Against the Vikings. The Vikings are actually a 2.5-point favorite. How are the Vikings a 2.5?
Cowboys went outright.
I don't get that.
Because Prescott isn't going to play. Prescott's out.
Oh, okay.
He'll play.
I was reading something. I was watching the ticker earlier, and from the sounds of it, Prescott is out.
Well, I heard. It might have just came through, because what I heard before that, he wants to play, but the decision.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So this is what the headline was earlier. Prescott wants to play versus Minnesota, but not fully his decision.
Okay. The Monday night game is the Giants on the road in Kansas City. The Chiefs are a 10-point favorite, with an over/under being 52.5.
It's going to be a high scoring. Game. I like the Chiefs. The Giants cover. Give me the over.
Okay. All right. And that's the NFL schedule for the week, with the Packers and Arizona. The bye week are the Raiders and the Ravens, and it's 10-7 Green Bay as we speak.
It's 10-7. Yeah.
Packers are killing you on rushing yards.
The Giants have The Giants' offense is dangerous. They can score some points,
Yeah, but their defense is awful.
and so is Kansas City. That ball that should have been a safety. It should have been a safety, and that ball should have. I guess what they called him down before he went into the end zone.
Well, you know what though, I'll say this: I think they missed the call on the touchback, so they gave Eastern Carolina
a break.
A break, yeah.
Yeah.
The referees go, "Oh, we messed that one up. Let's mess this one up too."
Right, makeup call.
And he bits a big play, right? Of course. Well, do you guys want to talk about anything else, or we got 15 minutes left?
I know we got 15 minutes. I didn't expect to get through the NFL that quickly.
Neither did I.
Kind of wise. We can talk WWE, AEW.
I have NASCAR. It looks like
NASCAR.
It looks like Tony Stewart, Dale Jr., and Clint Boyer are all tested out the new cars in Bowman.
This past week.
Weekend.
Yeah, this past week. I think it was Tuesday that they all did that. They had good feedback. Right. Everybody said they really liked the car.
Okay.
It's what I've been saying for the last 15 years. The car has to race better. You can't have a mile-and-a-half racetrack where you have 3 laps of racing, and then it's just everybody riding until the next caution because you can't get up and pass anybody. Like we saw at Kansas last week, Elliott was coming with 15 to go. He had closed it down to less than a second and a half, or less than half a second, and he rode right in Larson's tire tracks for like 6 laps, and just kept pushing and kept pushing and kept pushing. Couldn't get any closer. Banged the wall a couple of times. Lost a second, and it was all over with 3 to go. If you getting the dirty air, not having the dirty air behind you anymore, with the I forget what it's freaking called. The stuff, the new. There's gonna be ports that help direct the air out the back of the car and try to reduce the dirty air behind the car to try and keep the car from keep the cars from getting in the dirty air behind each other.
Mm-hmm.
And so where you can pass and you can race the whole during a fuel run, and you won't have 4 cars. You won't be watching the battle for 16th because it's the best battle on the track. He went in the 10. So that's really what the car has to do. Is it has to provide better racing throughout a fuel run or throughout a green flag stint, where you have cars racing for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, where you actually have comers and goers and movers and shakers, and you're not just going through the field every 10 laps and watching the battle for 16th. 3 cars racing for 16th. 16th, 17th, 18th because it's the best battle on the track.
Yes.
So, but they're in Martinsville this week, is that right?
Yep.
It looks like
the track.
Kyle Larson's got the pole.
Yep, because he won last week. It should be Hendrick. It should be an all Hendrick first front row.
Yes, and Larson will be joined in the front row by Hendry Motorsports teammate Chase Elliott. Denny Hamlin starts 3rd as his Joe Gage Racing teammate Martin Truex Jr. beside him at 4th. Joey Logano will start 5th, and Team Penske teammate Brad Keselowski next to him at 6th. Kyle Busch starts 7th, and Ryan Blaney starts 8th.
That's this many. Yeah, so the 8 playoff drivers are starting 1 through 8.
Yeah, it says Martinsville marks the last race in the round of 8. Larson already has clinched his spot in the November 7th championship race.
Yep.
Sunday's race in Martinsville will determine the other 3 drivers to race Larson for the championship.
And When Chase needs a good race this week, just need a clean race. Just need a clean finish. Don't tear anything up. Come home 10th, and you lock yourself in. Just need a good clean race. A couple of nice stage runs. Finish up in the stage. There's some good stage points. Don't need anything stupid or crazy. Just finish the race in the top 10, and you move on to Phoenix next week. That's really what I'm looking for. Is just a clean race from the top 4, and they all should move on. That's all you got to do. If you're the top 4 guys, you just need a clean race and you move on. With Larson having won 2 races already in the championship, there's only one more guaranteed spot to win. And there's 4 guys behind you. You're better off just running a good, clean race and finishing ahead of everybody you can, and not really worrying about going for a win this week. I mean, if it's there, take it, but your goal should be to score as many stage points as you can and just finish in the top 10. And you can move on, no problem.
500 lap race.
Yep.
Stage 1 ends on lap 130. Stage 2 ends up on lap 260.
Yep.
It's a 0.526 mile track.
Yep.
2 o'clock.
It's a half mile.
They're calling for a 63-degree green flag with 0% chance of rain.
Right.
Where's that again?
Martinsville, Virginia.
Martinsville is where?
Virginia.
Right. That's a decent day for October.
In Virginia? Hell yes.
63 degrees.
Even here.
Right. 63 and sunny. I can beat everybody.
63 and sunny. There's no rain in the forecast.
No rain, no clouds in the forecast, man.
Nope.
Should be pretty
blue sky.
Packers have the lead.
I would set the car up to be loose.
Yeah.
I would think the track would be fairly warm. Probably. Did he miss it?
Wow, he really missed that.
He shanked the hell out of that.
He really missed that field goal.
It's probably because it's
missed
wet.
an extra point. They have 4 points now that Eastern Carolina could have
left on the board.
Left on the board, yep.
Or on the field, I should say.
Yep.
But no, I would expect the track to be relatively loose. I would want to be building loose as it goes. I expect the track to grip up. That's because by 4 or 5 o'clock it's going to be dark. You still got another hour and a half before the checkered flag, depending on how the cautions fall and whether you get a lot of cautions early or you got a lot of cautions late. And it is a playoff race, and the playoffs make you do crazy and desperate things. But I don't think anybody is. Oh wow, Quenneville's out.
Oh really?
No surprise.
So he had something with. So that so now I wonder who Florida's coach is going to be now.
Babcock? What's Gretzky doing?
You don't want him as coach. He was a horrible coach.
Terrible.
A horrible coach.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, speaking of his former team, the Coyotes did lose 5-1 to the Lightning. So there you go. So good, but I'll let you finish. We only have a couple minutes left, but go right ahead.
Right. I was just gonna go to kind of touch on the Quenneville, trying to touch on the Florida situation.
Yep.
Who was in Columbus last year?
John Tortorella.
What about Tortorella?
Coming to coach Florida? That'd be interesting.
He's got a reputation as a hard ass, Lyle.
And actually, he'd be kind of funny to stick it to the Lightning because that was his former team that he wanted to help.
Right.
I don't know. That's a good question. That could very easily happen.
Right.
That could very, very easily.
It's too bad Red Berenson's so damn old. That'd be interesting. Wonder what happened. I don't know.
How about where's Ken Hitchcock at? Where's he at now? Is he in St. Louis still?
That's a good idea.
I think he's
Bring him to
retired.
Florida. He retired? Okay.
He would be an excellent. He'd be a good hire.
Yeah.
I wonder if they take a look at the college ranks.
Or
Yeah,
do you take a look at the AHL level and see who the best coach is there?
Right.
Usually that's what they'll do. They'll usually bring the AHL coach up from the minors to coach the pros.
Right.
So
Yeah,
they can
usually.
coach. But I will have to say this: it kind of sucks for Florida, who was off to their best franchise start ever. They're undefeated.
Right.
Right.
Haven't been beat
Right.
yet, and now they lose their head coach.
Hitchcock got fired in Edmonton in 2018.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not surprised Quinville's out. I mean, they're off to
Or
Chicago's off to a
2019.
horrible start. They're not getting anywhere, and all the crap they've been going through. Well, why should we be surprised?
Joe Quenneville's in Florida. He's the Florida Panthers head coach.
Well,
He's
Quinville,
not in Chicago anymore. He's in Florida now.
yeah, but they said he wasn't going to talk to the media, so
Oh well. Then he shot himself in the foot.
yeah. So I'm not
Yeah. Then
He
shot-
must have. There must be, like I said earlier, all of Chicago's skeletons just came screaming out of the closet.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, Hitchcock got let go in 2019, in May of 2019. Edmonton was 26-28, and they weren't doing well.
No.
So I wonder if they try to poach the kid at Michigan, whose name I don't remember right now.
Yeah.
That should be interesting to see now who they. I'm sure we'll know by tomorrow morning who the new head coach is for Florida.
We'll at least know who the interim head coach is.
Yep. Oh, there you go. That's
a pick six, isn't it?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh. I mean, they've still got a quarter left, but South Florida's got to get in the end zone now.
Yeah. Yep.
So again, guys, if you just heard, Joe Quenneville is out as the Florida Panther head coach.
Not surprised.
So again, obviously, as Adam mentioned, all of the Blackhawk skeletons are out. So let's see who else head flies, because
What other heads are going to drop?
Bowman is out. He resigned. Quenneville's out. So what are the assistant coaches? Are they coaching now? They're going to be out.
Maybe.
Anybody in that front
5
office is going to
years?
be gone too.
Yeah.
All hell is broken loose.
Yeah. Wow, I didn't realize Red Berenson had been gone that long. I wonder if Mel Pearson, I wonder if they take a look at him. He's the head coach at Michigan right now.
How about what's his name before? Works for ESPN. Darn it.
Barry Melrose?
There you go. He coached
Melrose.
He coached Tampa Bay. Why not?
No. No.
No.
He was awful in his last stint in Tampa.
Yeah, that's not a good move. I don't like that.
No.
Yeah, he was
I thought
awful.
he was going to be I thought he was a good hire at first, but no, he wasn't.
Okay.
I don't know.
Melrose was fired within, I think, the first 15 games of the season.
I believe so, yeah.
As
Wasn't
the Lightning's coach.
Wasn't he the last coach before Cooper?
I believe so. I believe so.
Yeah, the
After that, yeah.
FloridaTeams.com is reporting that Tortorella is the top on the list.
Yeah.
No, then he might come there. Yeah. All right, gentlemen. Well, we've reached the end of the show. Does anyone want to close out anything? Anyone want to prop their shows or anything? Go right ahead.
I ain't got anything going on.
Enhanced Sports Shows, Saturdays 5 to 7 Eastern Time. Number is 512-543-4662. everything is still a go. Everything is working normally still. We're going to talk World Series this week. No question about that. We'll of course also NHL. I'll take predictions on who will be like the Coach of the Year, the Sixth Man of the Year, and the Best Defensive Player of the NBA. So you might want to check that out. I wanted to do it last week, but we were so short on time. Also look at who wasn't on the best 75 players on the NBA list. There's been a lot of controversy of who should be in, who should not be in. Now, of course, I probably won't have time to go through all 75 players, but if you got any input, I would like to hear it. We'll also do our football predictions. We'll also talk NWSL soccer, as I want to make some comments about Carly Lloyd, especially in my home state of New Jersey. Thank you very much. And we'll also have our monthly feature, the best and the worst sports moments of October, because I know I do have a few of them. Hope will lead me. I do.
I got one.
Go ahead. Unless you're going to call the show.
Worst moment would have to go to Kevin Harvick for dumping Chase Elliott at the Roval. Best moment would be
not what I was thinking, but okay.
Best moment would have to go to Kevin Harvick for wrecking himself out at the Roval.
I got mine though. I have mine.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
All right.
Yeah, but I'll save mine just in case you come on the show, Adam.
All right, I'll try. I always forget about your show. I got so much going on Saturday afternoon. Well, last week I had a birthday party, and so we was busy.
Yeah. So 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay.
And so if you got time, call in. I'd love to hear it. And of course, it's also Bishop Night, or as I call it, it's going to be Bishop Night, or as I call it, Hell on Earth.
All right. That's the tradition.
Or Fright Night.
Yeah.
The Fright Night special.
Again, guys, thank you for anyone who joined us this evening. This has been fun, as it is every week with the two guys that come on here and do a great job.
I try.
The Walker Report, guys, is part of NGSC Sports. Remember, the website is ngscsports.com. They're also part of the Zone Sports Talk Radio and being aired on Coast to Coast Entertainment. We are sponsored by CreatingZenSpaces.com. It's the local choice in St. Petersburg, Florida, for house cleaning, organization, decluttering, and pet sitting. It's about finding the peace within you and adding comfort to your life. And remember, Zen Spaces begins with you. Be kind to yourself and one another. And again, at the present moment,
vampires too.
Just serving the St. Petersburg area. At the time, she's not serving Clearwater or the Tampa area at this time. But until, like I said, guys, we will be back here next week as the calendar flips to the month of November. So we will be back for our first show in November next week.
I'll be out my coffin by then.
If you guys want, I was going to ask you, I don't know what your schedules are on Thursdays. I'm off on Veterans Day. If you guys want to do a day show, that's up to you. If you're off.
What time?
The work. I don't know, Louis. I haven't figured that out yet. Noon, 1 o'clock, maybe.
I won't. What is Veterans Day a Thursday?
The Thursday. Yes. Yeah, it's a Thursday.
I won't be available until probably, depending on how it depends on how the things are going in at work. I won't be available till 5 o'clock.
Till 5. Okay. All right. Well, then we'll just keep the shows at the normal time then. Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right.
All right. Well, then, until then, guys, this has been the Sportster, Bradley Walker. Thank you to our first responders and our men and women of our armed services. Thank you so much. Until next week, we love you guys. Until then, peace.
See you in my coffin.